You know, I used to have the usual white middle upper class attitude towards the Jews. After all, they're poor guys, they got, you know, burnt up in the gas chambers and these things. So they've got a right now, okay, to be in Israel, to have their own land. And there's little people surrounded by these many big Arabs and this and that. So, you know, they can defend themselves. What's wrong with that, okay? At this time they're in Beirut, surrounding Beirut, blasting it, okay? And I sat down with this Palestinian whose relatives, and I really loved this guy as well, okay? Whose relatives were in Beirut, and he started telling me the other side of the story. And that's something that really, because, you know, all I'd read, you know, was the Telegraph and the Times and the usual propaganda. But then I started looking at the newspapers with a different eye, okay? I started looking at the contradictions. I started seeing that, on one hand, the United States of America was criticizing Russia for their treatment of the solidarity movement. Lech Walesa, that's what was going on at that time. Lech Walesa, the solidarity. America was trying to support them, Russia was trying to put them down, okay? And at the same time, in the same American newspaper, okay, the same American government was putting down the democratically elected government in South America. I can't remember whether it was El Salvador or whatever it was, Nicaragua. I was thinking, wait a minute, they're saying this here and they're doing that here. And then more and more of these hypocrisies became more and more aware to me. And that's how I became disillusioned with these two religions that I was following. Because we shouldn't say that it's not a religion. In really real terms, it's a religion with its gods and its rituals and its worships. Okay? And both at the end of the day absurd. Both at the end of the day absurd. I mean, I could never believe that I came from an ape, okay? And that all this, everything was a product of chance and coincidence, random happenings, produced this. You know, that was just foolish. That was even more stupid than Christianity. Okay, it made less sense than a man being God. You know, that this was a product of chance and coincidence. That's their justification at the end of the day. So, alhamdulillah, you know, these are the things that got me thinking and got me sort of exploring, you know. But alhamdulillah, the thing that really, of course, made me choose Islam, apart from these other influences, was reading the Quran. Alhamdulillah, when I read the Quran, I can say that having read many books on many religions and many different things, alhamdulillah, I read the Quran and I became convinced, definitely, when I read it. I can even remember today going from Clapham Junction to Waterloo. I can even remember it now. Because that's where I was staying at the time, Clapham Junction to Waterloo, and I was reading the Quran, and I said to myself, if I ever read a book that's from God, this is the one. And that same night, I went back to the house, and I used to remember how our cook, how he used to pray, you know, bowing and prostrating and these things. I didn't know how to pray, but you know, I just did my best as I could. And alhamdulillah, inshallah ta'ala, we can say that this is when I embraced Islam, and all praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who guided me from the darkness into the light, that indeed it's like I was dead and He gave me life. Alhamdulillah. And without Allah, none of us could be guided, and whomsoever Allah guides, there is none to lead astray, and whomever Allah leaves astray, there is none to guide. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, there's we have some time for questions and answers, and inshallah ta'ala we'll ask the brothers to talk about the new religion which the Muslims nowadays are choosing rather than Islam, liberalism, these sort of things that nowadays are popular among the Muslims, and inshallah ta'ala they will give us an impression about that. But we'll take questions from the floor and written questions as well, inshallah.